handed, or in that reality you're Caucasian, like just something. No, just like you're exactly the same person, or even a case of like, oh, you're there, but then you're a doctor over there, while over here you're I don't know, a bus driver. Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you think those things are real, like, or is this a case of something that we see in movies and let's just leave it at that? Like, we just see it in movies.
I think it's.
I don't want it to be real, but I think it is. I don't want it to be real.
Definitely real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely real. I think it's interesting, like different dimensions.
But what's the meaning? Imagine if like someone just like you, but we just did one thing different. But if it's just like you're just like a variation.
No, but I mean, like,
You're just a variation.
I'm the prime. I don't care. Like,
no, but like
he wants to be, but
but that's the way I gotta look at it.
It's like the way I look at it, like what I find interesting about it is just like what we can perceive, and then there's what we can't. So like we're in a 3-dimensional world, right? And let's say, okay, so what's the first dimension? That's what? Just a length. Length, right? And then we have the second dimension, which is
space.
Length and width.
Yes, space, length and width. And then we have the third, length, width, and depth. And then the fourth, time. So like, and then fifth, probability. So basically what fifth is when you have the ability to go back in time through the fourth dimension. So when you go back, if you change something, like just say I jump out of a window, if I go back in time to the point where I jumped out the window and I stop myself from doing it, and I create a different outcome, like, okay, don't jump out the window, walk out this door instead. Now, I've changed things. That's fifth dimension, changing the complete outcome.
Yeah.
So that's fifth dimension.
Like,
but then,
you create like a new branch.
Yeah. A new alternate reality.
Yeah.
But you see, from the fifth, the sixth, I don't understand anything from six upwards. Like that, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's something about, what was it? Like,
ideas, isn't it?
No, like everything starts from the same point, but you have the ability to like you have access to all the different outcomes, but it all starts from one single point. Like it doesn't, it's hard to fathom. It's hard to understand.
I think the way I would look at it is like you're at a door and and then in front of you there's multiple doors. I think that would be the way to look at it. At least that would be the way I would look at it. And there's all of those doors, and you can always go back to the door and
that you start. That makes sense. Yeah.
That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't even look at it like that.
But even to piggyback off Moses, is that even what you're saying with the whole different dimensions and like how these dimensions are in reality is like. Even we can observe it in real life.
Yeah.
You see animals like snakes and like ants. They live on more sort of 2D plane, innit?
Yeah.
So they can't see anything more so above them or like surrounding them, innit?
Yeah.
So with us that live in a 3D plane, we can interact with the 2D. So we can mess with them, whereas more so they couldn't mess with us.
Yeah.
So that's what I found interesting because they don't have a concept of, let's say, depth.
Depth, yeah, they can't
They don't
fathom
understand
that.
They only have a plane.
But we see in 2D.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Well, we have the option to. I think that's what
we have the option too.
Like nothing's actually 3D. Like how you.
No.
Things are 2D.
No, not like that. But no, we were saying in the sense of like animals that are on the ground. Like maybe they live in the grass, etc. They're 2D, but then while us, that we're a different level. Like we can walk on the grass, but then we see a lot more than they can see. We're 3D. We're not actually the concept of 2D, 3D. Because that's what.
I'm not that well versed in this, but like there was this video of like some white kids explaining like the third dimension and stuff. Yeah. And from what I remember, he said that the dimension you're on, you see the dimension below.
Yeah.
So if you're in 2D, you see one.
No, but that's you see exactly.
If you're in a 3D like us, you see in 2D.
Yeah, no, but what you're saying is you can see the two. Like you can only see the dimension below. Like
But you interact with the dimension.
2 dimension can see one. 3 can see 2, 2 can see 1, 4 can see 3.
Because think about
So
the
like,
one dimension,
yeah.
like a straight line. So let's use a snake as an example. Yeah, it's on this floor. Yeah, the snake can see the point in it. That's the 1D. The 2D is probably the line now, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the snake on the line. The 3D is us being able to observe the snake go to the point of
Yeah.
that line. But the snake, I'm not saying per se couldn't observe us, but more so we can interact in that 2D plane. Because like,
So we've already
There's a
know-
different spectrum.
yeah.
So
no depth.
if the 4th one is time, does that mean
Yeah.
you feel like so there's a dimension of time, right? Like where you
Yeah.
can go back and forth.
Yeah.
So do you think that
Go on, bro.
it's possible for people to use that to manipulate events?
Do you know, I think, yeah, personally, this is what I believe. I think we tap into 4th dimension when we die. That's what I
Do you think that
believe.
there's no one alive who's doing that, who's possibly
No.
manipulating the flow of time?
I don't think so.
I think we use 4th dimension.
guys,
we use 4th dimension in every day though.
How
And
so?
I say this.
Nah, I mean like someone
how?
like on a like global scale,
like, if-
dictating the
But
flow
for us
of
to,
time.
like, to be able to like manipulate 4th dimension, we do. For
How?
example, like, how did we meet today? Like, we all had a specific time to meet at.
Yeah.
So like we're in our reality. Yeah. So the 4th dimension, like I said, is time,
Yeah.
innit? So we met at a specific place at a specific time
Specific time, yeah.
because that's.
Oh, okay. But I'm thinking of more like
in
moving back in time, like
but that's
something like that.
I would say that's next level.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because you
different.
see, like if you were to say, like, just say, I saw some video and they were like, just say you're trapped in a box, right? A cage.
Yeah.
Like, a 4th dimensional being will look at us, a 3-dimensional being, inside the box and be like, yo, just get out. Just go up through the top and then, get out. But we can't do that because physically we can't actually fit through it.
Yeah.
But to them, the 4th dimensional being, guess what they will do? Just go back into the time where you're not inside the cage and just change.
But is it
Like,
not
just
true?
make sure you don't get inside it.
Is it not true
Yeah.
that like with a 4th dimensional being,
Yeah.
they can see within themselves, innit? That's
No, they can see within us.
Apparently,
Yeah, they can see within us. Yeah, they can see literally right through us. Yeah.
apparently that's how like DNA works, similar to that.
okay.
So I think.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like, you have like a twin in time. So thousands of years ago, there was someone who was the exact same kind of like DNA that you're expressing right now,
Okay.
just like that in your lineage, right? So I heard that it says that how you behave, you basically get your behavior from them. And how
Yeah.
you behave also impacts them. I think it's more of like, imagine if you live your life right now, right? You're a
Yeah.
child, right? And then your child grows up and then you pass away and then you're looking down at your descendants and your descendants are just F-ups, like they're fuck-ups. You feel a certain type of way about yourself and the things you did. So by their behavior, they're affecting you in the past,
Yeah.
right?
It's always on the line of
That's
ancestral
a-
memory.
Yeah, but
That's an
imagine
interesting
if
thing.
They do, if they're like, if you effed up, you didn't do right at all. But then you look at your descendants, and then they're just like doing the best of what they can. Then in terms, they make you feel like, okay, you may have done something. You're learning from that experience. It might make you feel better. So it
Yeah.
kind of works like that. Like you're helping the past, and they're also helping you. So that's kind of how. Because I, in terms of dimensions, I think that. Because have you guys heard of the Nelson Mandela effect? When
Yeah, you remember something.
but it's not like how you remember it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, a lot of people a lot of people shared a specific memory
Altered
and it didn't even
memory.
happen. It didn't even
Yeah,
happen.
like-
They all remember that Nelson Mandela died. Like,
It's weird.
yeah, it was
It's
some
like-
mad thing, but
It's like a memory about a film, and then everyone remembers that this film was called that specific name.
Yeah.
I think like the Berenstain Bears or something.
Yeah.
Apparently the actual name is Berenstein.
and
I don't
everyone
know,
remembered it
but-
a specific way.
Or
Yeah.
like the Care Bears, but there's specific things. So this
These cartoons.
like these cartoons, but it's like for me, I take things that are kind of a bit strange because we wouldn't know the power that the most powerful people on the planet have access to. We don't really know the things they have access to. So, and we don't
So
know
you
the-
think they're manipulating it somehow?
I think time is being manipulated for sure.
I don't think we're at that stage yet.
Oh,
Now, see, here's the thing. Like, no. I think the best way and the way I look at it is that I don't know what I don't know.
yeah,
Like that's the simple because knowledge is the most powerful thing you can have. Like you can be the most scrawniest person, or like you can be 2 foot tall, and like people look at you a certain type of way, yeah. But you might have the knowledge to destroy those people, like, and they don't even know, like, that you're the person that even did it, because knowledge is that powerful. So, like, you saying that, oh, you don't think so, we're there. At the same time, I'm inclined to agree with you because I haven't seen it. But at the same time, I'm still open to the possibility of that not being the case, because I don't know everything. I don't know.
Because imagine if we.
But the thing is, it's not like we could time travel yet.
No, but imagine
How do you know that? That's the thing, though. Like, there's no way you know that until you see it.
The thing is, I would believe it, yeah, when, okay, the purpose of time travel, why do people do that?
Deep it like this. But imagine if we all remember a specific event.
Yeah.
We all remember a specific event.
Yeah.
When you read somewhere and the event just is nothing like we all remembered it, would you then be like, oh, well, our memory's wrong? Or would you consider like, well, how come we all remember it that way?
Like deja vu, but then
for some reason it's saying that it didn't happen that way. Why wouldn't you consider that there's actually a possibility?
Like, why do I remember this way?
And then something just changed, and then now you have to kind of play with your own memory.
But then you just brush it off because it's a case of like, it's not something that is regular. It's so extreme, and you've never seen it happen or you've never heard about it happening. So you just brush it off. You be like, oh no, you know what? Now my mind's playing tricks.
It's way for everyone to remember a specific thing.
Yeah,
and then suddenly we're like, yeah, it didn't happen that way.
To jump on your point, is that I think there's a lot of like psychological way people can do things like that. Like definitely do with time, but like definitely like maybe propaganda and like there's a lot of ways they can make mass people think that something happened without happening.
But couldn't they make mass people think that something didn't happen when it did?
Yeah, if they could do both sides, if they could do one thing,
you could do the other. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I think it's so scary that we could actually experience something right now.
Yeah,
and then in 20 years, we're like, oh no,
it never happened. Yeah.
If for example, if us three are in the room and we're saying we can see something, I'm saying.
Okay.
If us three can see something, and Moses can't see it, and we're like, bruv, it's definitely there. Sooner or later, he's gonna be like, yeah, I can see it too. You know?
Yeah, even if I can't see it.
100%. Like, obviously, you're different because, like, you're probably a strong human being. Like, no, I don't see it. You can't tell me what I see. But for, like you say, the average human being, if everyone says, oh, that's what it is,
they'll just be like, well, I'm inclined to believe that since everyone is saying this way. So for example, if the news is saying that, oh, well, you know what, we like, oh, a certain country never did this, even though like there's people showing it on their phone that this is what happened, and they're showing the plane and it has like the flag of that country, but then the news is saying nah, that never happened. You'd be like, well, since the news is saying it, then I've got to believe it. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Jesus.
Like, people are that extreme. Like, they'll be like, well, I've got to believe it, then, innit? Like,
but humanity sounds how scary that
is. Of course it is, but that's just what happens, though.
You know what colour Jesus is, but if you ask someone what colour Jesus, they'll be like white. And if you say no, he wasn't white.
Well, why do I know what colour Jesus is?
Because based on the story, everyone tells the same story, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And what's the location that they give you?
Oh,
I'm saying, so you know from that location, you know the people that from that location, what they look like, etc. But then what you've been told and what's been pushed. I'm saying what's been pushed so heavily that everyone now believes. You're like, oh, well, it has to be that. Most people are like, yeah, it has to be that. How dare you say it's not that? You know what I'm saying?
And if you say anything else, oh, but what does it matter? That's how far they can push the.
You're actually right. Yeah, that's what they resort to.
That's what, but I think back to your point with time. I think when we can even manipulate it by like even organizing ourselves to time, because I don't know, has time always been how we see it now? It probably hasn't, innit? From like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably a new construct, innit? Yeah. For us to be able to do that and implement it, we're already even messing with the fourth dimension already.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah.
Do you think everyone follows that time?
But even remember the Ethiopians have a different time.
Yeah.
But
the
12-hour clock created that was messing in the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
They had to. Like,
that's true.
I don't know. I don't know. But is it?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're actually right.
Yeah, because you can even think of like, oh well, like maybe we actually were meant to operate in the dark. But then we are so like I said, you're used to that being the norm. So then you look at that as the opposite. Like why could like there's so many things. As I say, your mind can go in so many places.
Right,
like
when I was abroad and it was pitch black, I couldn't see. But then the locals could see everything, but I couldn't see. I was using my flashlight.
Because they that's what I'm saying. Like,
pitch black to me. I was like, wow, you guys.
Was there any street lights?
These broken, like, you know how the pavements be over there. Bro?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely no street lights.
These guys are just. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Still.